Here's my macro Bitcoin forecast. It's 21 years. Goes out to the year 2045. What do I think will happen? Well, I've got a bear case and a bull case, but what I think will happen is that 55% ARR goes to 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. It's between 50 and 20. It'll gradually decelerate till it's growing about twice as fast as the S&P index. And at that rate, Bitcoin's $13 million a coin in the year 2045.
Michael Saylor begins his forecast by outlining a trajectory for Bitcoin's growth over the next 21 years. He predicts a gradual deceleration in Bitcoin's annual rate of return R from 55% to a range between 50% and 20%. According to Saylor, Bitcoin's value could reach $13 million per coin by 2045. However, he also presents a bear case, where Bitcoin's value might only be $3 million, and a bull case, where it could skyrocket to $49 million. Saylor envisions Bitcoin capturing 7% of the world's assets, significantly influencing the global financial landscape. Saylor foresees revolutionary changes in technology and AI, predicting the emergence of companies with 100,000 eyes and no employees, dramatically enhancing productivity. These mega corporations will transform industries with innovations like shipping robots, self-driving cars, and AI-driven healthcare services. He believes this technological evolution will cause a shift in asset value, with gold being demonetized and land becoming less monetized. In this future, Bitcoin will become a visible and significant part of the global asset chart. Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
Here's my macro Bitcoin forecast. It's 21 years. Goes out to the year 2045. What do I think will happen? Well, I've got a bear case and a bull case, but what I think will happen is that 55% ARR goes to 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. It's between 50 and 20. It'll gradually decelerate till it's growing about twice as fast as the S&P index. And at that rate, Bitcoin's $13 million a coin in the year 2045. 13 million. It could be a 3 million bear case. It could be a 49 million bull case. But what is Bitcoin? 7% of the world's assets then. What about the rest of the assets? Well, I actually think that AIs and technology are going to revolutionize tech. We had no companies worth $1 trillion. Then we had a bunch of $1 trillion companies. You're going to see more because you're going to see companies with 100,000 AIs and no employees, and they're going to do the work of companies that used to have 100,000 employees. You're going to see mega corps develop, shipping robots and self-driving cars, and a company that gives a personal physician to 1 billion people without any doctors on the payroll. So clearly equity is going to grow fast. Gold's going to get demonetized. Land will be less monetized. But look, here's the future in 2045. Doesn't look that revolutionary. It looks like today. It's just that Bitcoin is visible on the chart to you. When Bitcoin is visible, that's going to be the base case. Now, what are the implications of this? How do you make money? Well, let's talk about individual Bitcoin strategy. What should you do? Make Bitcoin your primary treasury asset. Convert your excess earnings to Bitcoin. Utilize subsidized credit. If the government will loan you money, borrow the money at cheap rates and buy Bitcoin, and find a tax-efficient way to invest the Bitcoin. What shouldn't you do? Don't quit your day job. Don't lose your focus on Bitcoin. Don't use margin loans and trade with leverage. You get wiped out while you're asleep on a Saturday night. That's not good. Good? 30-year loan for 3% backed by the government on your land. Bad? Overnight 10x leverage. So what's a typical person? Well, we actually model an individual, and we said, what if you had $750,000 in net assets, and you made 200 grand a year, and you're going to make 5% more every year, and you got a savings rate of 25%, and you can invest $50,000 a year. Well, there's a lot of strategies. You could be the normie and do a normal strategy, diversified portfolio. You can be a 10%er, and you can put 10% of your assets into Bitcoin. You can be a BTC Maxi and put 80% of your assets and put 80% of your earnings into Bitcoin. You could be a double Maxi, and that's when you basically take an extra $250,000 loan against the house. And then the triple Maxi is you finance the house for Bitcoin, you buy Bitcoin, you flip all your assets to Bitcoin, and then you move to a cheap tax jurisdiction where you actually can avoid some taxes and invest an extra 50 grand in Bitcoin, maybe a Singapore or UAE or something. What's the result? Well, this is the result. The normie ends up with $8 million in 21 years. The 10%er will more than double that. The Maxi ends up with 100 million. The double Maxi 150, the triple Maxi 214 million. You can see the power of leverage, and the choice is yours. And you can also see, it takes 15.9 Bitcoin to be a triple Maxi. 6.25 Bitcoin will make you a wealthy person. Let's talk about corporations. Dues. Convert your capital to BTC. Convert your cash flows to BTC. Issue equity to buy BTC when it's accretive. Issue debt to buy BTC when it's accretive. Don'ts. Don't bleed your capital with taxable dividends. Don't surrender your capital with stock buybacks. Don't dilute your shareholders with risky, overpriced M&A activity. Here's our typical corporation. $100 million of cash flow, $1 billion of enterprise value. It's growing. It's generating a lot of cash flow. Its share price is $100. And now the issue is, what's your strategy? Normie, Maxi, double Maxi, triple Maxi. Well, the normie's going to be okay. You'll have a $1,200 stock price, but just 10% allocation doubles it. The Maxi is going to nearly 8x it. The double Maxi is $17,000 stock. The triple Maxi is $28,000. What kind of company do you want to run? Reality check. This is a triple Maxi strategy at work right now. This is MicroStrategy.
Saylor also addresses corporations, advocating for converting capital and cash flows to Bitcoin, issuing equity or debt to buy Bitcoin, and avoiding practices like taxable dividends, stock buybacks, and risky mergers. He uses MicroStrategy as a case study, highlighting its transformation over 4 years with a 1,300% improvement by following a Bitcoin-focused strategy. He emphasizes the potential of even a small allocation to Bitcoin, showing that a typical corporation with a $1 billion enterprise value and $100 million in cash flow could see its stock price soar from $100 to as high as $28,000 under a triple Maxi strategy. For institutions like charities, endowments, and non-profits, Saylor suggests modifying charters to allow Bitcoin investments, reallocating from short-duration to long-duration assets, and using Bitcoin as the cost of capital. He presents a model where a $1 billion portfolio could grow to $5 billion under a normie strategy, but could reach $300 billion with a triple Maxi approach.
It will be 48 months on August 10th of this year since we started down this road. 48 months. And if you're running a company, and there's 300 million companies out there, if you're running a company and you think you can do what Microsoft and Apple and Google do, then good for you. You can get to a 20 to 25% ARR. If you want to copy NVIDIA, you will beat everybody. But I think that right now in the boardrooms of Microsoft and Apple and Google and Tesla, they're stressed out about copying NVIDIA. And the irony is, it's easy to copy MicroStrategy. I just gave you the playbook. It's simple. This is how it compounds over 4 years. Right? 4 years of doing that gets you to a 1,300% improvement. So, bottom line, build a strong capital structure, avoid dilutive financial practices. Let's talk about an institution. You got a church, a charity, an endowment of Harvard, any nonprofit. What should you do? Modify your charter to invest in BTC. Reallocate from short-term duration assets to long-duration assets. You wouldn't invest in ice cream cones. Don't invest in the peso, but why are you holding 20-year financial instruments? Don't own 50-year physical land instruments. Buy a 1,000-year instrument. Use BTC. BTC is the cost of capital, not the S&P. The S&P is 13%. BTC is 55%. Right? Think of 55%. That's your cost of capital. And then use intelligent leverage. Okay, here's our model, a $1 billion portfolio. You want to be a Normie, a Maxi, a triple Maxi. Here, at the Maxi, we just said put 100% in at the double Maxi. And triple Maxi is take 10% leverage. And that's what happens. You start with $1 billion, and in 21 years, you'll have $5 billion of your Normie, and you'll be patting yourself on the back, talking about what a good job you've done managing the endowment. But it could have been $300 billion. It could have been 100x. Not that hard, very straightforward. Now let's talk about wealth of nations. This is the interesting one. What's the national Bitcoin strategy? Do's and don'ts. Well, reallocate your treasury from gold and bonds, they're short duration assets, to a 10,000-year asset. Issue currency to buy Bitcoin, issue debt to buy the Bitcoin, encourage Bitcoin ownership with favorable laws, protect self-custody for individuals and corporations, and support integration with the banking system of your country. Those are all do's. The don't pursue policies hostile to Bitcoin and Bitcoin holders.
Michael Saylor's forecast provides a comprehensive roadmap for the future of Bitcoin, from individual investors to corporations, institutions, and nations. His insights highlight the transformative potential of Bitcoin and technology, offering strategies to maximize growth and stability. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on cryptocurrency and financial strategies. Please like and subscribe my channel.